generating charts and reports. Once the simulation is over, we are ready to generate, interpret, and present results using charts and reports produced by At-Risk. At-Risk can generate close to 20 different types of charts. We'll stick here at this module to some of the most relevant ones. 62. With your cursor placed on cell N24, total profit, which is the most important output on the model, click on the Explore button and then choose the first option to browse results on At-Risk's revenue. This will generate the following histogram chart. Joe considers two threshold levels relevant to his annual business operation. On one hand, he needs at least $60,000 to maintain his household. On the other hand, he considers that anything beyond $150,000 a year would make it an astounding one and he would feel gladly satisfied. 63. Thus, move your two delimiter or vertical lines respectively upon these two levels of $60,000 and $150,000. Alternatively, instead of dragging these vertical lines, you can always type in both quantities on top of the numbers respectively. The chart will now look like this. By reading the probability numbers to the left side of the $60,000 delimiter on the probability bar, there exists a 5.4% probability that Joe will not make it to $60,000. In other words, in one of approximately 18 possible outcomes, it will not be possible to cover for his household need. On the other hand, by reading the probability number to the right side of the $150,000 right delimiter on the probability bar, there exists an 11.5% probability that Joe will surpass his $150,000 goal. In other words, in approximately 1 out of 9 possible outcomes, Joe will make what he considers an outstanding year under current conditions. On average, Joe may estimate an annual profit of over $110,000. However, his most likely scenario or model one is closer to $103,000, whereas his median scenario amounts to around $109,000. Remember, the median represents the point at which 50% of the possible results are smaller and 50% of the possible results are larger. The fact that these central points are somehow different occurs because there is a slight asymmetry on the distribution curve, read by the fact that the skewness factor is of 0.28. 64. Now, click on the sensitivity view icon on the lower part of the graph ribbon. You will see that At-Risk displays 5 different types of tornado charts. 65. Select the first tornado, change in output statistic. The following chart appears. This tornado chart so far will not help us too much on interpretation. By reading the top bars on the right, you will soon notice how the variables, number of contracts, and hours per contract for different months of a year become the most important variables that determine total profit. Since At-Risk only shows a limited number of top bars generated by its graphing engine, we cannot see here the relative importance of other variables. On the other hand, we would like to see a consolidated view of number of contracts or hours per contract or any other driving variable as a single input and not as separated variables for each month.